George Hegel, Philosophy of Mind, Complete Legal Outline by Christopher Robert Neal, Juris Doctor. Liber Alvel Legis, 341. Establish at thy Kaaba a clerk house. All must be done well and with business way. Liber Alvel Legis, 107. Behold, it is revealed by Awais, the minister of Hor, Bar, Kra. Section 1, Subjective Mind. Encyclopedia Section 387. Mind, on the ideal stage of its development, is mind. A. Immediate or implicit. B. Mediate or explicit. C. Mind defining itself, in itself, as an independent subject, the object treated by psychology. Subsection A, Anthropology, the soul. Encyclopedia Section 388. Spirit, mind, came into being as the truth of nature. Encyclopedia Section 389. The soul is no separate, immaterial entity. Encyclopedia Section 390. The soul is at first A. in its immediate natural mode. B. It is a soul which feels. C. Its immediate being or corporeity is molded into it. Subsection A, Anthropology, the soul. Supersection A, the physical soul or Naturlica ciela. Encyclopedia Section 391. The soul universal, described, it may be as an anima mundi, a world soul, must not be fixed on that account as a single subject. Subsection A, Anthropology. The soul, supersection A, the physical soul or Naturlica ciela, super subsection alpha, physical qualities, or Naturlica qualitaten. Encyclopedia Section 392. While still a substance, in essence a physical soul, the mind, 1, takes part in the general planetary life, feels the difference of climate, the changes of the seasons, and the periods of the day, and similar experiences. This life of nature, for the main, shows itself only in occasional strain or disturbance of mental tone. Encyclopedia Section 393. 2. According to concrete differences of the terrestrial globe, the general planetary life of the nature-governed mind specializes itself and breaks up into several nature-governed minds, which, on the whole, give expression to the nature of the geographical continents and constitute the diversities of race. Encyclopedia Section 394. This diversity descends into specialities that may be termed local minds, shown in the outward modes of life, and inner tendency and capacity of the intellectual and moral character of several peoples. Encyclopedia Section 395. 3. The soul is further decentralized into the individualized subject. But this subjectivity is here only considered as a differentiation and singling out of the modes which nature gives. We find it as the special temperament, talent, character, physiognomy, or other disposition and idiosyncrasy of families or single individuals. Subsection A, Anthropology, the soul. Supersection A, the physical soul, or Naturlica sia ella. Super subsection Beta, physical alterations. Encyclopedia section 396. Taking the soul as an individual, we find its diversities as alterations in it, the one permanent subject, and as stages in its development, as they are at once physical and mental diversities. A more concrete definition or description of them would require us to anticipate an acquaintance with the formed and matured mind. Infrasection 1. The first of these is the natural lapse of the ages in man's life. He begins in childhood, mind wrapped up in itself. His next step is the fully developed antithesis, the strain and struggle of a universality which is still subjective, as seen in ideals, fancies, hopes, ambitions, against the immediate individuality. Then we see man in his true nature to his environment, recognizing the objective necessity and reasonableness of the world as he finds it, a world no longer incomplete but able to work which it collectively achieves to afford the individual a place and a security for his performance. L- Last comes the finishing touch to this unity with objectivity, a unity which, while on its realist side, it passes into inertia of deadening habit. On its idealist side, freedom from the limited interests and entanglements of the outward present, old age. Encyclopedia section 397, Infrasection 2. Next, we find the individual subject to a real antithesis, leading it to seek and find itself in another individual. This, the sexual relation, on the basis, shows on its one side subjectivity remaining in an instinctive and emotional harmony of moral life and love, and not pushing these tendencies to an extreme universal phase in purposes political, scientific, or artistic, and on the other shows an active half where the individual is the vehicle of a struggle of universal and objective with the given conditions, both of his existence and that of the external world, carrying out these universal principles into a unity with the world which is his own work. Encyclopedia section 398, Infrasection 3. When the individuality or self centralized being distinguishes when the individuality or self centralized being distinguishes itself from its mere being, this immediate judgment is the waking of the soul, which confronts its self absorbed natural life in the first instance as one natural life, in the first instance as one natural quality, and state confronts another state, as in sleep. The waking is not merely for the observer or externally distinct from the sleep. It is itself the judgment, primary partition of the individual soul, which is self existing only as it relates its self existence to its mere existence, distinguishing itself from its still undifferentiated individuality. Subsection A, Anthropology, the soul. Supersection A, the physical soul, or Natuurlijke Seele. Again, subsection A, Anthropology, the soul. Supersection A, the physical soul, or Natuurlijke Seele. Supra subsection Gamma, sensibility or Empfindung. Encyclopedia section 399. Sleeping and waking are, it is true, not mere alterations, but alternating conditions, a progression in infinitum. This is their formal and negative relationship, but in it, the affirmative relationship is also involved. In the self certified existence of waking soul, its mere existence is implicit as an ideal factor. The features which make up its sleeping nature, where they are implicitly as in their substance, are found by the waking soul in its own self, and, be it noted, for itself. The fact that these particulars, though as a mode of mind they are distinguished from the self identity of our self centered being, are yet simply contained in its simplicity, is what we call sensibility. Encyclopedia section 400. Sensibility, feeling, is the form of the dull stirring, the inarticulate breathing of the spirit through its unconscious and unintelligent individuality, where every definite feature is still immediate, neither specially developed in its contents, nor set in distinction as objective to subject, but related as belonging to its most special, its most special, its natural peculiarity. Everything is in sensation, feeling, if you will, everything that emerges in conscious intelligence and in reason has its source and origin in sensation, for source and origin just mean the first immediate manner in which a thing appears. Let it not be enough to have principles and religion in the head. They must also be in the heart, in the feeling. What we merely have in the head is in consciousness, in a general way. The facts of it are objective, set over against consciousness, so that as it is put in me, my abstract ego, it can also be kept apart and away from me, from my concrete subjectivity. But if put in the feeling, the fact is a mode of my individuality, however crude that individuality be in such a form. It is thus treated as my own. My own is something inseparate from the actual concrete self, And this immediate unity of the soul with its underlying self in all its definite content is just this inseparability, which, however, yet falls short of the ego of developed consciousness and still more of the free, rational mind life. Encyclopedia section 401. What the sentient soul finds within, it is, on one hand, the naturally immediate, as ideally in it and made its own. On the other hand, and conversely, what originally belongs to the central individuality gets the features of the natural corporeity and is so felt. In this way, we have two spheres of feeling. One, where what at first is a corporal affection, in essence, of the eye and of any bodily part whatever, is made feeling, sensation, by being driven inward, memorized in the soul's self centered part. Another, where affections originating in the mind and belonging to it are, in order to be felt, as to be as if found, invested with corporeity. Thus, the mode or affection gets a place in the subject, it is felt in the soul. Sensibility in general is the healthy fellowship of the individual mind in the life of its bodily part. The sensible form for the simple system of corporeity specified, A, the ideal side of physical yet subjective ideality, where distinction appears as mere variety. B, the real aspect similarly is with this difference double. The sense of smell and taste, the sense of solid reality, of heavy matter, of heat and shape. C, around the center of the sentient individuality, these specifications arrange themselves more simply than when they are developed in the natural corporeity. Encyclopedia section 402. Sensations, just because they are immediate and are found existing, are single and transient aspects of psychic life, alternations in substantiality of the soul, set in its self centered life, with which that substance is one. But this self centered being is not merely a formal factor of sensation, it feels in itself the total substantiality which it virtually is. It is a soul which feels. Subsection A, Anthropology, the soul. Supersection B, the feeling soul. Soul as sentiency. Di fu landa se ella. Encyclopedia section 403.